Hello and welcome back. Just wanted to go over a few things with you now that you've watched the per 1 point perspective kind of introductory video. A couple things to make sure that we all understand. As I draw them on the board, please pay attention here. Just a couple tips. First and foremost, you always have a horizon. It can go anywhere on your paper. It can go very high on your paper. It can go, if this is another piece of paper, at the bottom. It can go in the middle. It is totally up to you as the artist, okay? It depends on if you want to include more sky or more ground, or if you want about the same on both. It is up to you. If you choose to say do this option, okay, and have a little higher, you're gonna have more ground with a lot less sky. So if you have a lot of things that you want to include in your house that are on the ground, I would definitely put your horizon a little bit higher. If you want to include things like mountains and airplanes and things like that flying in the sky, I would definitely choose to have more options in the sky, or even if you live in the sky. You get to choose where you would like that. It is totally up to you. After you have your horizon, you are then going to decide where you want your vanishing point. Again, this is not a big deal. You can choose to put it wherever it is that you would like. You can put it over here, over here, over here, but are you starting to see the common theme? It has to be on your horizon. But that is the point in which everything vanishes. That's the point in which the earth curves enough that we can't see any further. So it technically vanishes to our current eyes. So you get to choose. So if I am drawing, here's my large piece of paper. I first start with my horizon. Okay, then I'm going to add my vanishing point. The next thing that you have to do is draw the very front of whatever object it is that you're going to draw. So I'm going to draw my house. I'm going to draw my house, and I'm just going to draw the front of it. Then I'll locate the corners, and specifically the corners that are closest to that vanishing point. And the reason I say that is these corners would go through the house, so you wouldn't even see them. The only reason you would include those is if you're doing a glass house, because you would see through the glass to see that side of the house. Otherwise, you're going to connect those corners to your vanishing point. And here's the last kind of tricky part, is you're going to draw the parallel line. So if this is the side of the roof, here's the back side of that same roof. If this is the side of the house, here's the back side of the house. And then you will actually erase the excess lines. Let me draw back in my horizon for you guys to see. And there is my three-dimensional house. The biggest thing I see, and the part that people struggle with the most, are things like in-ground pools. Really technically, the front of the pool is in the ground, so you only see the top part of that pool. These would then be your corners that connect to your vanishing point. Here's the front of my pool. Here's my parallel line for the back of my pool. Okay. Things like that I erased here, but give you an idea. Okay. Oftentimes what I see is people draw pools like this. Everything has to go to that vanishing point because that pool looks like it's standing straight up and all the water is going to come pouring out of it, right? And we don't want that. Okay. The other thing I often see is people have a really hard time with things standing up. What you want to think about is, this is my horizon. Here's my vanishing point. You've got your house drawn, right? Go to that vanishing point. Got my parallel lines. A fence. Okay, again, you're going to draw the front of that fence first. So here's all my fence posts. Then I'm going to connect those corners to that vanishing point. Now these posts right here on this side are not going to lay down. Oftentimes people who draw them like this. Those are posts that are laying down, not standing up. You want to still draw your posts standing up. Okay, again, I connect this corner to my vanishing point. Posts are standing up. Draw my parallel line for my fence behind the house. Okay, where everything goes to that vanishing point. You draw the front of the object, you connect the back of it to that vanishing point. Please let me know if you have questions. Watch this video again if you do have further questions.